So, in today's episode of Things You Didn't Know You Wanted to Know, I'm going to try and explain to you the hours of service that most truck drivers have to deal with. Now, you'll see me posting once in a while about taking a 10 or taking a DOT 30 or doing a reset. These things are all rather simple, but I'm going to try and explain them to you anyways, in case you don't understand. So here it is in a nutshell. We're allowed to work or be on duty 70 hours in 8 days. Now, of those 8 days, every day we've got 14 hours to get 11 hours of driving done and take a 30-minute break. Once we hit that 70 hours, we have to stop and take a reset, which is 34 hours, unless we're going to run off recap. Then we gain back on the 9th day what we ran on the first day of the 8th day. Got it? Cool. We got to keep track of that all the time. I'm sure you've got it. No more questions, right? Yeah, you got a question. So do we a lot of times. So let me break that down a little bit easier. We are allowed to work and be on duty or driving 70 hours in 8 days. Now, on duty means checking into a shipper, fueling, doing our pre-trips, doing our post-trips, anything when we're doing anything with the truck, that's on duty. When we're free to roam and do whatever we want to do, then we can go off duty. But we can only be on duty or driving 70 hours in 8 days total. Every day, once we start our clock, say we start at 8 o'clock in the morning, we've got until 10 o'clock at night to get everything done we've got to get done that day. That seems like a long time. Of that 14 hours, we're allowed to drive 11 of those. We have to take a 30-minute break before we're on duty 8 hours or driving 8 hours. We have to take a 30-minute break. It's mandated. We've got to do that. So that sounds like a lot, but when you're stuck at a shipper, sitting, we're not getting paid. Well, we get detention, but our clock is still chewing up, and we'll make more money driving than we will sitting at a dock getting detention. So most drivers don't like doing that, myself included. But we've got 14 hours. Once that 14 hours is done, then guess what? We've got to take a 10-hour break. Now, there's some exceptions. We can do a split berth. I'm not going to bore you with all that. It's a pretty complicated process anyways. But once we get to that 70-hour mark, we either have to do one of two things. Either stop and take a 34-hour break, which will allow us to start another 70 hours, or wait until we gain hours back on our recap, which means we skip that 34-hour break and we wait until the 9th day so we can go back to the first day and gain those hours back. So if we put in 11 and a half hours on the 9th day, we'll gain those 11 and a half hours back. That's not a real efficient way to run. Sometimes we've got to do it, but we really try to avoid that. So that's the hours in a nutshell. We used to have to keep all that stuff out on paper, and that would allow people to get creative, shall we say, creative. I've done my share of that. Right now we're on electronic logs. In fact, it's mandated for most people to be on ELD, electronic log. And I see benefits to that, big benefits to that. I actually end up with more time being able to drive every day. And plus now, not that Newspawn would do it, but now companies can't bear down on their drivers. Come on, you can get it there, and then you just do it. You can get it there and then figure it out. No, we don't have to do that anymore. Downside of that is now we can't play with our logbooks, so sometimes we get stuck where we don't want to do. But all the ELD is doing is exposing problems that we've been covering up by playing with our logbooks. So I think it's a plus. A lot of guys don't like it, but I see a lot of benefit to it as well. So that's it in a nutshell. I've taken 4.5 minutes to explain absolutely nothing to you. I'm sure you're going, who cares? Well, some people want to know. So that's my episode of Things You Didn't Know You Wanted to Know. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and feel free if you want to subscribe down there somewhere. It's down there's a subscribe button if you want to push it. If not, that's all right. I don't care. I don't put these things out too much, but if you want to know what's going on in trucking, I might post about it. If you got a question, just ask. We'll make a video about it. I don't care. Hey, have a great day, and we'll see ya.